friends, it's Marianna and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 40 different ways to help you romanticize winter this year, because if you're anything like me, then winter is also your least favorite season. And so this year, I really want to try to make the best out of winter and just romanticize it and make it super cozy and as fun as possible. Most likely will be a challenge, but we'll see. So this video is for both you and me to get some inspiration for what to do this winter, how to help us romanticize it and just enjoy this season overall. I have 8 different categories with 5 different ways in each of them. They're obviously going to vary in like simplicity, time, effort, and budget as well. And without further ado, let's get started. The very first category is cozy home atmosphere. And I'm going to start with having winter scented candles. I feel like candles are just an overall amazing way to kind of romanticize your space and just make it a little bit more cozy and homey. I have a candle burning in the background right now, and actually my current candle is one of those that has like the little mini fire crackling wick with it. It's like a little wood piece. I highly recommend those because you can definitely hear them like softly in the background if you obviously have like nothing else playing, and it really boosts that extra vibe of like cozy interior. Next up is to have a go-to blanket. I feel like having a reliable favorite blanket just around the house is a really great way to kind of get more cozy on the colder winter nights. If you already have a favorite blanket, it's time to get that out and get ready to cuddle up on the couch. And if you don't have a favorite blanket that you know is a really good reliable one, highly recommend going out and buying it. You can definitely do this on the cheaper side, or you can obviously get a bougie blanket if that's what you want as well. But I feel like it's such a great way to get cozy and just romanticize your daily life at home. My next tip is to have soft music playing in the background. My top favorite way is to have those like animated illustration YouTube video ones kind of playing, where they have like super cute seasonal illustrations going on, and it's like there's a little bit of movement to them, and they always have like soft jazz or lo-fi. I definitely go to lo-fi ones a little bit more, but the jazz ones are really nice as well. Having like that visual plus the candle going on, it's like a top tier way for me to set a cozy mood at home. My next tip is to read by lamplight instead of overhead light. Even if you're not reading, this tip kind of applies anyway. Just having your space lit up by lamps and candles instead of overhead lighting really helps change the feel and atmosphere of any room. So if you have enough lamps around or candles to kind of light up your space enough to do whatever it is that you have to do, that's a really great way to do so. And lastly in this category, it is to decorate with seasonal decor. You can keep this super simple by just adding some like fairy lights or going all out. It really depends on your vibe and your budget, but decorating your space seasonally is a really great way to kind of add some like novelty and fun to your home with the changing seasons. My next category is food and drink, and the very first one in this category is to master your hot chocolate recipe. If you don't like hot chocolate, just move on to the next tip. Me personally, I need my hot chocolate to be very chocolatey, not too milky, and definitely not watery. I always make my hot chocolate with milk and not water, and I personally am not a fan of marshmallows. However it is that you like your hot chocolate, I feel like perfecting your recipe, finding the right cocoa powder for you, is definitely a really fun way to kind of romanticize a cozy night in. My next way is for you to bake some bread from scratch. I personally have never made this, and I don't think I ever will. Who knows? But I'm just not a baker. If you've ever wanted to try and bake some bread from scratch at home, this is your sign to do so. Use one of these like longer nights in the winter to get cozy and bake some bread from scratch. Find your favorite type of bread and look up an easy recipe of like beginner friendly way to do it at home, and that could be a really fun thing for you to do this winter. Next up is to buy your favorite treats, but the seasonal version. A lot of different grocery stores will have like their holiday winter lines of different snacks and foods as well. That's a really fun way to kind of romanticize and just get into the holiday spirit by eating some foods that were specifically designed, I would say, for this time of year. Something else you can do is also to try a new soup recipe. There are so many different types of soups, and we all know that fall and winter is soup season. You can look up a new soup that you really want to try and then see if there's like a restaurant nearby that does it, or make it yourself at home, whichever way you prefer to do it. Last one in the food and drink category, this one also goes with like friends and having friends over, is to host a cozy fondue night. I feel like it's quite self-explanatory that this will be a really great way to romanticize winter and also build connections as well. And it's quite nice because everyone gets to pick and choose whatever it is that they want to eat and dip into the fondue, and you can make it savory or sweet or both if you want to like cheese or chocolate fondue. My next category is fashion and style, and we're going to start this one off with having fun with layering and accessorizing. Usually outside is very cold, and then inside it can get really warm in some places, so having different layers you can take on and off is really crucial. It's something that you can do to kind of romanticize that and just make it a little bit more of an enjoyable experience when it's winter time, is to add some like bright fun colors. A very easy way to do that is this with like a scarf or a beanie or maybe like a sweater vest. But just adding something that has a really fun pop of color can help make those like darker, gloomier days of winter a little bit brighter and more fun. Next up is to master your winter lip combo. I have my like fall and autumn lip combo mastered. It's these two products. I don't have them like on me right here, but I do want to change it up for winter because I feel like changing a lip combo with the seasons is also a really fun way to kind of romanticize it and just have like a signature style to go to. Next up is to go charity shopping and maybe find yourself a cute new sweater for the winter season. I feel like it's really fun sometimes to get new pieces every season, but I know most of us want to make that a little bit more sustainable and budget friendly as well, so going to a charity shop is a really great way to do that. And kind of on the same vibe, my next tip is to have a statement winter coat. This would definitely help having like that main character moment, because I feel like all the main characters in movies, whenever it's like winter, like colder months, they all have really cool coats for some reason, and so that would be a really fun way to kind of step into that world and truly romanticize and have your main character energy all throughout winter by having a statement coat. And lastly in this category is to get your nails done. I personally don't like having my nails done all the time. I definitely don't have them done all year round, but maybe if you have like a favorite occasion during the winter time, getting your nails done can be a huge mood booster for some of us for like special events, and it can kind of be inexpensive if you like do it yourself or depending on like the type that you get done, but it's a fun little way to kind of romanticize it because you can always look down at your nails and see what you got done. My next category is called outdoor magic. Now I know that I did say that winter is my least favorite season, and it definitely is by far, but it can also be quite beautiful depending on where you live, and even if you don't think it looks beautiful immediately, doing some activities to kind of find the beauty in winter can be a really great way to romanticize it, which takes me to my very first point, which is to have like a kind of photo shoot for like winter scenery. You can really romanticize winter by kind of finding the beauty in the mundane of it all and just capturing like maybe some up close shots of snow or rain on like a leaf, for example. That is a very like mindful way to kind of capture the winter in photographs. Just kind of have fun with that and do like a little photo shoot with the intention of capturing the beauty of winter wherever it is that you live. My next tip is to go ice skating if that's your thing, because it's definitely not mine. I am one of those people that grab on to the side of the ice skating rink and still fall, so I do not go ice skating, but I do have friends that love going, and so that's a huge way that you can romanticize winter and just have fun by doing an outdoor activity that is extremely wintry. If you enjoy it and you're good at it, it can also be a lot of fun. Not for me though. My next tip in the outdoor magic is to go on an early winter walk, but obviously make it extra cozy. Put on the right like jacket and shoes and socks and everything, and then also make it extra cozy by having a nice drink with you, so something like a nice warm cup of coffee, some tea, or some hot chocolate. Another great way to experience the outdoor magic of winter, I feel like, is to visit your local Christmas markets. This can be extremely expensive depending on where you live, but it can also be very free. If you just go and just walk around, you can still get like the Christmassy market feel and the vibe and be around people without having to spend any money. But I feel like Christmas markets are just always so cozy and nice. Not if you go in like the very busy areas, because I live in London and so sometimes they just get way too crowded and it ruins the fun and the joy of it all. But going a little bit earlier in the year or just earlier in the evening as well, when it's not like peak times, can be a more fun and chill way to do that. And lastly, this one definitely requires a little bit more of time and money, but it is to have a weekend getaway in like a cozy cabin, for example, with like hot tub. You kind of know the idea of what I'm talking about here. That's definitely a huge way to romanticize winter and to just kind of like unplug and enjoy a weekend away with like yourself, some friends, or a partner as well. My next category is all about being mindful and slow living, and the very first tip is to practice gratitude. I feel like being extra mindful about what you're grateful for can be super helpful in the winter, and definitely a very easy way to kind of romanticize your life, because you can be grateful for literally anything. For example, you managed to get 8 hours of sleep that day, or you saw the sun, or you were able to get an extra 10 minutes to yourself in the morning. And so like practicing gratitude when it's like the darker, colder months is such a simple but effective way to lift up our moods and just remember what we're grateful for. And then there's like a lot of things still to be grateful for. For me at least, I can get so into like the sadness of winter and like the darkness of it all. This is a really like simple but effective way to kind of come out of that a little bit. My next tip is to declutter where you can. So this will just kind of help make your space a little bit more peaceful and stress-free, which is always really nice. The next way is to minimize your screen time. An example of this is to pick like 1 or 2 days in a week where you go completely screen-free for an evening. Like after dinner, you kind of just completely unplug, you set your alarms and already put your phone away, and just kind of enjoy an evening of non-screen tasks. If you're doing anything like a board game, painting, word search, just not something with a screen, so like not watching a movie, for example, like just completely go screen-free and unplug. My next idea is a really cute one, definitely very like slow living and kind of back in the past in a way, and it's to write handwritten letters to your loved ones. I feel like this time of year year with the holidays and stuff can like bring up nice emotions and just make us a little bit more sentimental. And so I feel like taking some time to write some handwritten letters for the ones that you love in your life can be a really nice thing to do. And lastly in this category is to have slow mornings. I know that not everyone can take an extra like 30 to 60 minutes in the morning to have a very slow kind of alone time type of morning, but even if you can do that like once every 2 weeks during the entire winter months, it's already going to be like super helpful and a really great way to romanticize your life, especially in the morning time. I feel like that's such a crucial time for our minds to kind of like reset, and so having like an intentional slow morning, it's a really great way to kind of take things slower and just be more cozy and present. Okay, we have 3 more categories to go, and the next one is romance and connection. This is all kind of centered around couples who live together, and the very first idea is to have a candlelit dinner at home. I think that would be such a nice and cozy romantic thing to do. Another one, which is actually a favorite of mine, is to slow dance in the kitchen, or just dance in the kitchen in general, whether you want to do upbeat fun vibes or more like slow dancing romantic vibes. It's such a fun and cozy cute thing to do. Another great idea is to have a favorites movie night where you and your partner pick a favorite movie each, and then you watch it together and kind of get to talk a little bit about your favorite movie and just cuddle up on the couch together. That's such a nice like cozy and romantic thing as well. Another one is to cook a meal together, specifically a nice warm cozy one. Obviously it's winter, so maybe this could be the soup recipe, or you can do something super simple like grilled cheese. But just cooking together can be a really great bonding and romantic evening to spend together, and definitely great for winter nights when you kind of just want to stay in and eat something cozy. And my last tip in this category is to make a couple's winter bucket list together. And the one tip I'd have for this is to just make it like very realistic, so whatever your budget is or how much free time you have, kind of stick to those guidelines. But having like a little bucket list that's physical that you're sharing with your partner can be a really fun way to romanticize winter and just do some activities that will kind of be like happy and bonding over just like complaining about the weather and how miserable winter is. The next category is all about creativity, and if you know anything about me, I love to be creative, so this is definitely one of my favorites. But my first idea is to have a paint and sip night. I feel like this one is really fun because you can do it alone, you can do it with your partner, or you can do it with friends, and you can like make it super simple or go all out again if you want to like buy really nice canvas and paints, or you can do literally like paint with like markers and just have like a chill night. But you can choose to have like some tea or wine and just kind of enjoy a cozy night in. Obviously like it's really great to kind of mix and match this stuff, so maybe you can have like a paint and sip night with some soft background music playing and your candle lit and fairy lights on, and that will be like the ultimate cozy romanticizing winter experience. Another great idea is to make handmade gifts or cards this holiday season. That is like a super delicate and cute way to kind of personalize your gifting and card writing experience to other people, but also for your own experience, like you get to be more present and mindful and creative when making those things, and I feel like there's like a lot more love poured into that as well. Next up is to try a new hobby. Again, with winter we spend a lot more time indoors usually, and so this is a great time to kind of slow down and try a hobby that you've maybe been wanting to, but maybe summer was too busy and you had no time to do that, and so winter is a perfect time to do that. The next tip is to make a physical vision board for the new year. I usually love to make vision boards, but I typically make them digitally. Every single time, like I wish I had made it a physical one, but I feel like it's just like so much effort. But again, more time indoors, and you can like mix and match all these different tips and ways to romanticize winter and just make a really cozy vibe and kind of like visualize your goals and plans for next year and put them on a vision board, but physically instead of digitally. And lastly, in the creative category, it's a super simple and budget-friendly thing to do, but it's to create a winter playlist. I personally love having seasonal playlists, and the vibe of the song doesn't even necessarily have to be like super wintry, but just what I'm into at the moment or just brings me cozy vibes personally. And then if you're ever feeling down or just when you're unwinding at home, you can put this playlist on and essentially have a really good time because you designed the playlist, and so you know it's gonna be good. Okay everyone, we have made it to the final category, and that is all about self-care. Super important, especially in the winter time. My very first tip is to take a bubble bath, and again we're going to mix and match, and we're gonna take this bubble bath and have some candles on and some soft music playing as well to make it just extra relaxing. But for this I would recommend, instead of like jazz or lo-fi, you can find like spotlight playlists on like Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube and really set that like cozy bath spa kind of scene in your bathroom, so that'd be quite fun. Next one is to have a sleep-in day. I know not everyone can do that, especially not every single day. That's not feasible for any of us, but just choosing like one day, maybe like once every 2 weeks or once a month, where you can completely set no alarms and just let your body rest and wake up whenever it wants to, can be a really great like treat to yourself or self-care, and just to kind of help your body like rest and relax a little bit more. Next up is for you to wrap yourself in a robe after you're showered. Can be a really great way to romanticize it and again feel like that main character movie mode moment. I feel like they always have robes on. It just seems so cozy and fun to like get out of the shower and put on a robe while you're like doing your skincare or brushing your teeth or just like unwinding for the night. And kind of going with like the bubble bath and robe theme, it's to have a spa night. You can do this by yourself or with your partner or friends, and you can go very simple or all out, but I feel like a spa night at home is such a great way to romanticize life in general, but specifically during winter, it would just be very nice and very relaxing. And lastly, to finish off this whole video under the self-care category, it is to put on a face mask and read and just really chill and relax and kind of immerse yourself in a story. That is like my final tip for this video on how to romanticize winter. I hope that you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe down below, as that means so much to me. And if you have any more tips, there's so much more I know that we can all think of, please drop them in the comments down below, as I would really like to know your ideas and we can kind of share them collectively. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!